Hello drama lovers. Breaking news. What happens when the quiet truth hidden in someone's heart finally spills out for months? Fans around the world whispered about Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe, two rising stars whose chemistry felt too real to ignore. But when Zhao Jinmai broke her silence with words so raw, so emotional, the line between drama and reality blurred forever. The story begins long before this confession ever reached the spotlight. Zhao Jinmai, often praised as the nation's little sister, has grown into one of the most promising actresses of her generation. Known for her bright smile and emotional depth, she captured hearts in Reset and other hit dramas. But it was story of cunning palace that changed everything. Across the screen stood Zhang Linghe, the tall, charismatic actor with piercing eyes that seemed to see right through her. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable. Every glance lingered too long. Every gesture felt too gentle, too natural. Fans began replaying scenes, editing clips, and asking themselves the question no one could answer. Is this just acting? Or is it something more? The fandom exploded. Social media threads trended with hashtags like Jinling couple and Zhao Jinmai Zhang Linghe, fueling endless speculation. Interviews only added fire to the storm. Whenever they appeared together, their laughter seemed too genuine, their comfort too natural. Zhao Jinmai's shy glances, Zhang Linghe's protective aura, it was as if the drama continued long after the cameras stopped rolling. But for months, both remained silent. No confirmation, no denial. Just stolen moments that fans dissected frame by frame, desperately searching for clues. And then it happened. In a quiet interview, far from the flashing lights, Zhao Jinmai finally opened her heart. Her words weren't rehearsed. They weren't calculated. They were trembling, honest, and full of emotion. She admitted how deeply she respected Zhang Linghe, not just as a co-star, but as a person who stood by her during difficult filming days. She confessed that some emotions couldn't be fully acted, because they came from somewhere real. And as those words echoed across the fandom, millions of fans felt the same chill rush down their spine. It wasn't a dramatic declaration of love. It wasn't a bold confirmation. But it was something more powerful, a raw confession that blurred the line between character and reality. As her words spread across platforms, fans couldn't hold back their tears. For those who had believed all along, this moment felt like validation. For those who doubted, it was a revelation. If Zhao Jinmai's words revealed the depth of her feelings, then Zhang Linghe's actions over the past year painted an even clearer picture. He wasn't the type to overshare on social media, but every gesture seemed to scream louder than words. At fan meetings, he would mention Zhao Jinmai unexpectedly, his tone softening every time. During award shows, when the camera panned to her, his eyes would instinctively follow. And during behind-the-scenes footage, fans caught the way he subtly adjusted her costume, shielded her from harsh lights, or leaned in just a little too close. The fandom couldn't ignore it. Global fans, especially young women who resonated with Zhao Jinmai's vulnerability, felt like they were watching a real-life drama unfold before their eyes. TikTok edits hit millions of views. Twitter spaces filled with late-night discussions. And international headlines began calling them the most talked about on-screen couple in China. But not everyone celebrated. Some skeptics dismissed it as marketing strategy, a way to boost drama ratings and fuel publicity. Others warned that the industry often controls narratives, and fans might be falling into a carefully crafted illusion. Yet, here's the truth. No script writer in the world could orchestrate the kind of trembling voice Zhao Jinmai had when she spoke about Zhang Linghe. No PR team could design the softness in Zhang Linghe's gaze whenever her name was mentioned. The tension became almost unbearable. Fans demanded clarity. Were they just friends? Or something more? But perhaps the beauty of the story lies in its uncertainty. Because sometimes, what ISNT said is louder than any confirmation. And that silence, that unanswered question, is exactly what keeps fans holding on. The days following Zhao Jinmai's confession felt like a tidal wave. Fan forums overflowed with emotional posts, some joyful, some heartbroken. International fan accounts translated her words into dozens of languages, ensuring the entire world could feel the weight of what she said. In Seoul, Tokyo, Bangkok, and even Los Angeles, K-drama communities began debating passionately. Could this be China's next legendary screen couple that transcends borders? Much like Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin once did with Crash Landing on You. But while the fandom speculated, Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe remained quiet. No joint statement, no clarifications. Just silence and the memory of her trembling confession. And maybe that silence was intentional. Maybe they chose not to define it because what they share is too delicate for labels, too precious for the spotlight. For Zhao Jinmai, this was more than a career milestone. It was a coming-of-age moment in front of millions. She transformed from a rising star into a woman unafraid to reveal her heart. And for Zhang Linghe, it solidified his image as more than just a handsome face. He became the man who inspired one of the most emotional confessions in recent entertainment history. Together, whether lovers or not, they gave fans something priceless, a story that feels alive, unpredictable, and achingly real. At the end of the day, whether Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe are destined lovers or simply two souls who touched each other deeply, their story has already left its mark, because love, in all its forms, isn't just about labels or announcements. It's about the moments that linger, the gaze that lasts a second too long, the trembling voice that betrays hidden feelings, the silence that says more than words ever could. And maybe that's why fans cried. Not because they wanted confirmation, but because they felt something real in a world that often feels staged. For once, the emotions on screen didn't end when the credits rolled. They spilled over into reality, and now, into the hearts of millions. Zhao Jinmai's confession wasn't just about Zhang Linghe. It was about bravery. About choosing honesty over perfection.